ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Discriminating Gamer, the Norman Fell of board game review shows. You know, a lot of people talk about those kooky deck-building games. Well, today, we're going to go ahead and look at a dice-building game. I am, of course, talking about DC Comics' Dice Masters Justice League from WizKids.
Just because I'm Frankenstein's monster, don't mean my name be Frankenstein. I was given a name by master, just call me Stu and everything's fine. But everybody just calls me monster. I don't have a place to call my own. I just keep on looking for my master. He let me in this world alone. I'm evil, incarnate, gosh darn it. Whoa, 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 I'm evil, incarnate, gosh darn it. When my master put me together, I gotta say he made a few mistakes. Not to sound like I'm ungrateful, but most of them are made to my face. Now I'm in.
In the DC Comics Dice Masters Justice League game, two players are going to go head-to-head to try to knock each other down from 20 life points all the way down to 0. Now, how this works is essentially, at the beginning of the game, you're going to go ahead and set up a number of basic action cards. Now, these basic action cards are represented by different colored dice. They have either blue dice, red dice, green dice, purple dice. They're all out there on those specific cards. And these are dice that anybody can buy during the game to add to their pool. There's also various characters that you're going to get. Now, these characters are superheroes. You're going to have various superhero cards. The base set comes with 3 cards for each of the heroes. So 3 Superman cards, 3 Wonder Woman cards, 3 Batman cards, 3 Darkseid cards. But you're going to have all these different cards that have different powers and different things going on with all of them. They're going to have different abilities that are going to come in handy, but they all critically have the same kinds of dice. Now, you can only choose one of the cards for each character. You place it on the board, and the base game comes with 2 of their dice per character. Each player also is going to get 8 sidekick dice. Now, these are kind of almost like your starter cards in a deck building game. They're not very powerful, but they're going to get you to better places and stronger dice as the game progresses. Now, at the very beginning of the game, you're going to put all of your sidekick dice into one of 2 bags that are provided. These are really light paper bags. Don't know how durable they're going to be in the long run, so you like the game, you'll probably want to go ahead and pick up a better dice bag. You're going to put those 8 sidekick dice in this dice bag. You're going to shake them up, mix them up, then you're going to pull out 4. It's kind of like your hand size is going to be, all things being equal, is going to be 4 dice that you withdraw. You're going to roll these dice, and you can re-roll any number of them once. But once they're re-rolled, you cannot then alter it again. You're kind of stuck with it. Now, what these dice rolls are going to do is come up most of the time giving you energy. Energy is kind of your currency in the game, and there's different kinds of energy. There is shield energy, there's mask energy, there's bolt energy, and there's fist energy. Now, this is important because if you want to buy different dice, it may depend on the energy you roll. You have to have at least one of a certain energy. For instance, if you want to buy a dice belonging to one of your characters, they may require you to have at least one of your energy match their symbol. So one of the cards may have a fist energy. Well, if its cost is 4 and you roll 4 different energy symbols, at least one of them has to be a fist. It has to match that symbol. You can also spend energy in any category buying a dice from one of the basic action cards. You may also roll a question mark, which can be used as any kind of energy if you need it. Critically, you may also roll a sidekick. Sidekick looks like a chess piece, and that is something that you can use as a character in the game. More on that later. Now, as the game progresses, you may buy more of these dice, you may be able to use them, and you, of course, may be able to buy some of those dice from the basic action cards. Now, the basic action cards have a power on it. So later on, if you roll one of the dice from that card, if you roll a exclamation point, you can use that power and that ability. Most of those cards also have what are known as a global ability, meaning something that anybody can do at any time if they can pay the cost for it. And the cost is usually some kind of energy. Now, after you've rolled and re-rolled, if you have a character, either one of the superheroes you brought out or a sidekick from your sidekick die, you can actually pay his fielding cost. Now, each of these dice have 3 key numbers on them. In the top left is its fielding cost. You can pay that amount of energy, any kind of energy, to essentially put him out there ready to fight. His top right number is an attack value. His bottom right number is a defense value. Now, if you have heroes that are fielded, you can then essentially put them into the attack zone at the end of your turn. Now, if there's no one on the enemy side to block it, then essentially your attack value knocks him down a number of life points equal to the attack value of that dice. But if the defender has a hero or a character in his defense pool, he can move that forward and choose who he wants to block, essentially negating any attack value. But if you come in with multiple heroes, then the other heroes are going to get past. They're going to score hits against you. There are some various other options you can do during combat. As I say, you can activate some of the global abilities. You may have a character ability. Certain things can really alter the balance of power during these battles. Now, dice that were rolled and used, they go to the used pile, and that's kind of like your discard pile. They're kind of out of the game for a while. Depending on how the combat plays out, some of your dice may go to your used pile, some of your dice may be knocked out, but they go to a prep pile. Prep pile's on the other side of your reserve there. Now, when your turn comes up again, you're going to reach into your bag, pull out 4 more dice. But if you have any dice in the prep pile, you can add those to your roll, and then you'd be rolling 5 or more dice. You keep doing this until there are no dice to grab from your bag, in which case you take all the dice from your used pile, you throw them in your bag, shuffle them, and then you pull until, again, you have your hand size, which is 4 dice, all things being equal. This process continues and continues and continues until one side or the other is knocked down to 0 life points. The player who is able to knock his opponent all the way down is the winner of DC Dice Masters Justice League. DC Dice Masters Justice League, of course, is not the first kind of game. Of course, it started with the X-Men, the Marvel Dice Masters game. We've had, I think, 1 or 2 more subsequently. This is just kind of the latest iteration. I briefly played the Marvel Dice Masters game several months ago. I had it kind of inadequately explained to me as I was playing it. I wasn't wild about it, but I think that had more to do with the fact that I was playing with somebody that didn't really understand the game. The good people at WizKids decided to send me a review copy so that I could take a look at it. And it was a game that I was thinking, well, I'll give it a shot. I think I'll enjoy it. And I played the game, and I got to tell you, it's awesome. I love this system. I love this. It is a deck-building game with dice. The cards, the different abilities you have, the different options you have, and really fundamentally, that's what I love about this game, is the options that you have. You are constantly making these tough decisions. How am I going to most effectively spend the energy I rolled? Am I going to go ahead and purchase one of my superhero character dice? Am I going to buy one of the basic action dice? Am I going to use it to field a character? Am I going to activate a global ability? There are so many options. There's so many pathways to victory. You really feel like you are the architect of a strategy in this game. And I love that. It's fun. It's quick. This is not a long game, but it's a deeply strategic game. And I really, really enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to. Now, I realize I'm just kind of adding my voice to a chorus here. I know some of the other game reviewers have really enjoyed the Dice Master series, and so I kind of feel like I'm just, going along with the crowd here. But when the crowd is right, the crowd is right. And this is a great game. I really, really, really enjoy the DC Dice Masters Justice League game. It's just a whole lot of fun. The good people at WizKids sent me one of the playmats to play on. I like the game so much, I bought a second one because I wanted us both to have one when we're playing the game, me and my friends. So, thoroughly enjoy it. Cannot recommend this game enough. This is, to me, a great unexpected joy. Really enjoy it. That's the DC Comics Dice Masters Justice League game. The recommendation for the discriminating gamer unequivocally is buy it!
But I was given the voice of an angel, given the voice of a devil. course, you're shallow like the rest.
Thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We ask you to please like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. We are The Discriminating Gamer, and my only regret about this game is we don't have a Nicolas Cage Superman. That would have been horrible, but it should have happened. Ugh.
I'm evil, incarnate, gosh darn it. Whoa, whoa, whoa.